Hi, I'm David, this is Joe, and today we're going to be reviewing Spider-Man Into the Far From Home.
There you go. Woo!
Multiverse Homecoming.
Spider-Man Far From Home, the second movie in the Marvel Spider-Man standalone movies.
There's way too many fucking titles.
Yeah, there's a lot going
for
on.
all this.
So this is the first movie after Avengers Endgame, the number 2 movie in the world.
Yeah.
No.
Somehow it didn't beat Avatar.
No.
Damn.
And this is the end of Phase 3. It's not the beginning of Phase 4.
No.
It's the end of Phase 3. Not Endgame, but
The
Far From Home.
after game.
The after game.
Yeah. That's what they should have called Spider-Man After Game.
Spider-Man After Game Epilogue. It's something.
In this movie, we find Peter Parker not wanting to deal with this bullshit anymore, basically.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what, I'm going to go on a field trip. I'm trying to get at Zendaya. He wants to start dating MJ, and he has his whole plan, and he lays it out right away, which is great. And then they go on a school trip to Europe, and that's where his plan starts to unfold, so he can go after the girl. Or he can, I keep saying go after like he's going to fucking attack her. He can pursue dating MJ. And of course, there's villains that come into play, and
stuff,
everything
and nonsense
ruins his plan. And that's the movie. That's where we're at.
So, do you remember Civil War when Iron Man first meets Spider-Man as a kid, and he asks him, "What's your MO? You know, what gets you out of that twin bed in the morning? Why do you do what you do?" And Spider-Man says, "Well, when you have the powers that I have, and then like the bad things happen, then it's on you."
Yeah.
Which was basically, with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, so when this movie starts, he says, "I fucking hate that."
Yeah. He was like, he goes, not my problem.
Yeah, he goes, "No, I don't think like that anymore. I fought in space. I'm way tired of it. I just want to be friendly neighborhood Spider-Man." You know, at the end of Homecoming, he steps up, and he's no longer the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
But I think he quickly realized, like, after fighting Thanos, that he's in way over his head.
Yeah.
Like, there's things out there that are so much stronger than him, and he's just a teenager.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have that cocky, like... In Homecoming, he was like, I have superpowers. I'm stronger than everybody around me. I'm amazing. I'm great. And I'm the amazing Spider-Man. And in this one, he's just kind of like... He's shell-shocked. He's like... He disappeared for 5 years.
Yeah.
He's like, I just want to live a life. Like,
and Nick Fury slides in and goes, "Nope, you need to fight all these elemental bad guys because Mysterio's here and he's from an alternate dimension. He's from a different Earth, and you got to fight with him to defeat these element bad guys. It's like the Avatar split in 4.
Yeah.
and so Mysterio's in this movie, and he's a good guy this time around. He's not the villain from the comics. He's a good guy. He's the next Iron Man-ish kind of person, where you had in Homecoming, you had actual Iron Man mentoring Spider-Man, and now you've got Mysterio kind of mentoring-ish Spider-Man.
Yeah. And without going into talking about too much of the movie and going into spoilers and things like that yet, what stood out the most to you in this movie, do you think?
Well, without spoilers is tough, because the second half of this movie almost isn't in any trailers at all. The entire second half, and I loved that half of this movie. Yeah. The first half was kind of just reminded me of Homecoming a lot, which is like a teen rom-com kind of thing, but he happens to be Spider-Man. And I was like, I thought that wasn't going to happen anymore after Endgame. Yeah. But it happens the whole first half of this movie, but then the second half it kicks in. I think the Spider-Man stuff impressed me when he actually got to do Spider-Man.
I was waiting to say that. I should have just said it first. The boss fights, him fighting the villains, and just any of the fighting scenes, and him swinging around and actually like doing Spider-Man shit. You get a lot of that in this movie. Not at first. Like at first, it's a high school field trip. It's gone wrong.
He doesn't even want to put on a suit for half the movie.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be Spider-Man. He's like, I don't want to.
That part in Spider-Man 2 where he gives up.
Yeah. Except way less sad.
Yeah, way less sad. He's
way
just
less
like,
emotional. He's just like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Or Tobey Maguire was actually, like, his life was being ruined by this shit, you know. And Spider-Man, he's just kind of like, it's really annoying. Yeah. But yeah, there's more Spider-Man shit.
Yeah.
And that's why I like this movie a lot better than Homecoming. Homecoming was okay, but this was like, I'm excited. Like, I'll happily see this again.
I happily saw it again. I've seen this movie twice by now. And
as far as performances go, who do you think stood out the most?
I mean, Tom Holland always does great. He kills it as Spider-Man. This is the definitive Spider-Man for now until a new one comes along. Because everybody thought Tobey Maguire was, amazing. Then Andrew Garfield, there was even people being like, well, he's amazing just because the movies are eh. And then Tom Holland, he's the best Spider-Man now.
Every time there's a new Spider-Man, everybody, he's the Spider-Man. He
tops the last one. So for right now, he is the best Spider-Man. And I think he does great. Zendaya does good. I'm not a big fan of this version of MJ. A lot of people are really into it. They really like her.
Actually, I really liked her in this. Yeah.
I didn't really like her in Homecoming. I didn't like when she said her name was MJ. And then in this movie, I thought she was But she's fine. She works. She serves her purpose as her character, as the love interest. I'm not mad at her being the love interest.
I think for me, Jake Gyllenhaal's performance as Mysterio. Jake Gyllenhaal, in anything he does it well, and this one is no different. And as Mysterio, he crushes it, and that was a fantastic performance.
They take the character in kind of new directions, but I'm not mad at it. I think they somehow made Mysterio look cool, which is nice. He never looked cool. I mean, in like the cartoons, like he's got a fishbowl on his head.
It's Mysterio. Kind of corny. Just a carnival trick.
But in this, they go for a more technological approach, because he's kind of like, he's got more armor.
They really pushed like he's like the next Iron Man. Which I totally didn't see that coming. And that was cool. And hopefully that's not a spoiler, but I mean that's how it starts. Like that's right off the bat. I would have to put this in the A tier for Marvel movies. It was up there. It was really good. It wasn't with the best. It wasn't great. It wasn't Infinity War. It wasn't the Black Panther. It wasn't other things that had more emotional impact. But it was really good.
I would put it in the same. I'd put it in the A tier. Spider-Man he is my favorite superhero. I love all things Spider-Man. I thought this movie was awesome. And I will go see it again. But yes, it wasn't as good as any of the our collaborative films. The Avengers movies. But so that's what we thought of Spider-Man Far From Home. If you haven't seen it yet, go and see it. It's not doing great at the box office right now, surprisingly.
There's so many good movies out
so many good movies.
So it's tough.
Marvel thought, again, they could just beat out everything with this, but it's proving kind of hard, actually, for Spidey. But go and see it.
As a villain, he crushes it.
He totally
that was a total spoiler. God damn it.
As the villain. How could I say this without saying the villain?